Good afternoon, YouTube. JT Serenity Farms prepping here. So, it's been a few busy, tumultuous, misinformation-filled few days. So what do we know since the 6th and the Patriots march in DC? Okay, so initially I thought it was a false flag event by the Democrats, and I still do, but I'm changing my opinion on, I thought the DC swamp cops were in on it with the demon rats when I saw them escorting Blantifa in buses and vans into DC. Then I saw the police officers open the barricades and welcome in the Blantifa terrorist. And then I saw cops inside the Capitol building leading those same people apparently where they wanted to go, up stairwells and around corners. I've seen videos of big bats and sticks handed to people outside the Capitol from inside, and the windows were already broken. Okay, so there was many things that led me to believe that the DC cops were conspiring with the Democrats on this and Blantifa. But after learning that 90%er, that's alcoholic Pelosi, after learning that her laptop and many of her staffers' laptops were confiscated by men dressed in black with backpacks, shoulder holsters, blue N95 mask, they're coming out as the terrorists are going in. Now, it really doesn't matter, but I tend to lean towards the fact that maybe the DC cops were allowing all those people inside onto the grounds in DC, through the barricades, into the Capitol, as a great distraction so that members of the DOD could get in there and get those laptops out of 90%er's office. So, Intel says those laptops will contain multiple treasonous acts by Pelosi and her staff and other Democrat lawmakers and politicians, such as Adam Shitshow, Dianne Feinstein, and whoever else has committed treason. Basically the entire party, if you ask me. But all her staffers also would have that same information, which directly implicates them all as traitors. So that's why Pelosi is frantic, desperate, trying to get the president impeached, which was shot down, simply because McConnell doesn't want to be the one to do that. He needs to go down. Most of the Republicans are just as dirty. They're spineless. They may not be as dirty, but they're spineless. They're gutless, ballless wonders who are falling over themselves, apologizing for supporting the president simply to keep their positions, their income, their power, which they won't have, and their income. Okay? So, The military, I believe, is going to be on Trump's side, the overwhelming majority, because the military leaders that still exist that have supported Trump in the past have gotten billions from this president as he rebuilt the military. And these military leaders are still there because they are patriots. They love this country. They realize the threats that are out there against us. So they also realize if 90% are Peta Joe, Camaho, and the rest of the traitors get power and give this country away to the Chi-Coms, as is the plan, these military leaders won't be around long. The Chi-Coms are not going to allow anyone that doesn't believe as they do or is U.S. military supported Trump to collect Social Security, if you get my drift. And that goes for you and I as well. It goes for most of the demon rats who've committed treason too, but they're too stupid to realize what's going to happen to them as soon as the Chi-Coms are given the country. So that's what's going on with that. So today you've heard the media, there's all sorts of reports of all sorts of armed groups that are prepared to storm every state capital on potential inauguration day. And there's thousands of troops being stationed around D.C. for the inauguration, which Pedo Joe himself said was going to be virtual. So what's that all about? Okay, well, let's move on to the blackouts that we heard about in Italy, where the Vatican happens to be located, in Rome, where the socialist Pope happens to reside. So, during the course of this blackout, apparently the Vatican has its own satellite. And according to intel sources, this satellite was used by the treasonous Democrats here in America to send votes to the satellite, which were routed somewhere else, changed to Pedo Joe, and sent back. So apparently that was confiscated. Rumor says that the Pope is going to be arrested for treason under the 2018 executive order signed by President Trump, which is still active, the national emergency for anyone, anywhere, especially a foreign country, interfering with our elections. So just by virtue of what the Democrats did with the election in November, we already know the other countries that are deeply involved in this. The Chi-Coms, the Iranians, the Iraqis, Italy, Britain, North Korea, Venezuela likely, Germany. So to Italy. You may have heard there was an affidavit signed by a person who aided the Democrats in doing some shenanigans with vote changing and all that crap. I've also heard today that there is a warrant out for the arrest of the Prime Minister of Italy, because it's obviously very likely that he was in on it and knew all about it. And that probably will happen in many other of those countries that conspired with Democrats as well. Hearing rumors that Pence has either resigned or been arrested, and that General Flynn will be put in as vice president. I'm okay with Flynn being vice president. I don't know if I believe what I'm hearing about Pence. Part of me doesn't want to. I'm going to reserve making judgment and telling you about that until I get more intel or we all hear it together. Supposedly tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's in North America for tards, the president is going to speak. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to be, but I am going to reactivate the emergency alerts on my phone about 2:30, and I'm not saying he's going to speak through our phones. We might get notified at that time where we can watch or listen. Maybe we won't be able, I don't know. I will keep you posted if I find out anything between now and then. We have a very small window. Those laptops combined with everything else we already know and have massive amounts of information on what happened during this election need to be exposed ASAP. Apparently the president was going to speak today, but it's got pushed back till tomorrow to 3 o'clock for some reason. They don't give reasons, they just give updates. Cryptic, it sucks, I know. But we're out of time. I'm not telling you all or the president anything we don't know. They obviously know way more than we do, but today's the 11th. There are certain things that need to be done, and they need to get done. We need to keep preparing. Please do. I went and got a whole bunch of money out of the bank today. Things go down, go dark. ATMs aren't going to be working. My water, my food, my supply, everything I got is good to go. If supposedly the Insurrection Act was signed last night at midnight, that doesn't mean that it's instantly martial law type scenario everywhere. By signing it and it legally being implemented, there's things he can do in relation to that don't affect us at all. We don't even know about them. But at some point within the next 8 or 9 days, you may see the cesspool cities having definite curfews, National Guard assigned to those big cities. You know, where I live, they're not going to do anything. We won't even know what's going on. But there could be temporary food supply shortages, fuel shortages, package shortage, everything that we count on a regular basis without even thinking about it could very likely be disrupted for a few days, maybe longer. This type scenario is what we became preppers for, right? We knew an SHTF was coming. I'm not saying this is the SHTF, but they come in varying degrees. Everyone's SHTF is based on their personal situation. So, make sure you got your people. Make sure you got a way to communicate, because you know that the left is going to do a mass media blackout. The internet will probably go down. Our cell phones might still work, but there's going to be no social media of any kind for us to communicate. Do what you can. Stay safe. Surround yourself with only people you trust. So naturally that means no libtards of any kind anywhere near you, because they're going to lose what little minds they have left, and there's not enough duct tape in the world to fix that crap. So, that's what I got for now. Like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell while we're still up. And for now, JT signing off.